If you don't know me, my name's Anjali and I create a lot of videos about student life and just Canadian universities in general. Now, today I decided I would actually do something a little bit different, and you probably already read the title of this video, but I'm going to be doing a mini Q&A with my friends. And this is because I saw a lot of comments on the video I made about Waterloo computer science, about different universities and programs that you all had questions about. And so I posted a poll on my Instagram story, and a lot of you responded to that with many different programs and universities you were interested in. And so I decided to gather a bunch of my friends so you can get meaningful advice from people that are actually in that program. And so without further ado, let's get into this video, and make sure you drop a like and subscribe. It means a lot to me and it really motivates me to continue making these videos to help you all.
Hey guys, my name is Emna and I am a first year student at OCAD University.
Hi, my name is Shabby and I'm in my first year studying at the Schulich School of Business in York University.
Hey, my name is Reese and I attend Western University. I am in the Faculty of Social Sciences and I'm in the program Philosophy, Poli-Sci and Econ with a concentration in Philosophy and Poli-Sci. And I also have pre-IB status, which means I have a guaranteed spot into the IB business program so long as I maintain an 80% average and extracurriculars.
Hey everyone! My name is Nirmal Hegde and I'm a Systems Design Engineering student at the University of Waterloo. I currently just finished up my 1A term and am now in co-op.
Hey everyone, my name is Sasha and I'm currently a first year student attending McMaster University in the Integrated Science program.
Hi everyone, my name is Akshat Suri. I am a first year currently at the University of Waterloo attending the AFM program.
Hi everyone, my name is Kaveri and I am a first year life science student at the University of Toronto. I'm currently attending the Mississauga campus and I'm hoping to do a double major in biology and chemistry.
For those of you who don't know, I am at Western doing medical sciences, and yeah, okay, so this is kind of awkward. Alright, cut this part out.
With art, I felt the most connection with because I'm able to express myself and I'm able to become free with whatever I do. So I'm able to use all these programs, all these elements of art to express my ideas. And personally for me, I love advocating. And I thought that, art is a way for me to express universally my passion for advocating for mental health, disability, and so much more. So I thought art would be really cool for me to pursue. Not only this, but with a graphic design degree, you can literally become anything. So graphic design is what I'm doing at OCAD University. And with this career, you don't only have to become a graphic designer. You can become a creative director, a UX director, designer, game designer, illustrator, a lecturer. You can literally become anything.
So the reason why I decided to go to Schulich is because number one, they have 10 different specializations to choose from, which is really nice for me because I have no idea what I want to do with my life. So we get to choose in third year, so we have 2 years to kind of explore before actually making a commitment. And also Schulich has really small class sizes from 25 to 55 people, which is really nice because you're not overwhelmed by being thrown into a classroom full of hundreds of thousands of students, and this way you also get more one-on-one time with the prof as well.
There's definitely a few reasons why I chose Western University and the IB business program, and one of those main reasons is that the IB dual degree system allows me to get both a business and a law degree in the span of 6 years instead of 7. And so the reason I chose social science as my faculty as of right now for my first 2 years of undergrad is because IB does not care what you do for your first 2 years so long as you take whatever courses are prerequisite to the IB business program. Western also has pretty colors. yeah, so the purple is really nice.
I decided to go into systems design engineering because throughout high school, I never really knew what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to go into technology. Systems design engineering incorporates this because it takes a lot of different types of technology and incorporates it into one program. So by going into the program, I would be able to explore all different fields and then decide after exploring them what I wanted to do. So because of my unsureness, choosing system design engineering was a no-brainer. In terms of choosing Waterloo, in the industry, work experience overshadows everything, especially in engineering. So since Waterloo has 6 different co-op terms, you gain 2 years of experience before even graduating university, which would give you a huge leg up in the industry.
The reason why I chose this program is because the interdisciplinary style of teaching really stood out to me, and I absolutely love the idea of doing group work and group projects where we tackle these real-world problems by looking at them from different scientific perspectives.
So why did I choose my program in my uni? As my program, as I said, is AFM and my uni is Waterloo. So I chose these places because I think Waterloo best fits like the way I wanted to kind of cater my the rest of my life. Like I wanted to do co-op. I wanted to be part of a unique program, and I think always like I've always wanted to live on res and stuff like that. And personally, the reason I chose AFM over like all the other programs that I got into was because AFM is the only program which actually caters its entire structure of like of your 4 years in one term to whatever specialization you want, because there are so many specializations at Waterloo in AFM in itself that you can be a CPA and a CFA and they will help you get there, right? Or you want to be a CBV, which is a chartered business valuator, or do anything of that sort, be it sustainability or something like that. You can get to it. It's pretty easy.
So ever since a young age, I've actually wanted to go to UofT, and one of the prime reasons for that is that I didn't want to live on residence, and I still do not want to live on res. So in order for me to commute, I had to choose a school within the GTA. Secondly, UofT is in fact very prestigious. It is ranked one of the top universities worldwide. And thirdly, the networking opportunities. So I personally want to build and establish my career within the GTA. And with UofT being located in the heart of downtown, I found that being an amazing opportunity for me to network and build amazing relationships with work-related professionals, colleagues, students, alumni, as well as professors. And I felt that that would definitely be advantageous for me in the long run. And finally, the research opportunities. Now, the University of Toronto is in fact a very academically driven school, especially in terms of its research. So I personally love doing research and it resonates with me a lot. And I hope to pursue doing research as a future career option as well. So all these reasons combined, I took the decision to go to the University of Toronto.
Okay, so how do you pick what program you want to go to? Well, you can either go the direction that you like or the direction that gets you a better job. So there are kind of 2 options there. If you have something that you're interested in, I'd say chase that first, because you can always change your mind later. But if you don't, then just try to get like a good job, you know what I mean? So go down a field that is in demand and can do some research, see which jobs get paid more. That's what I did, because I don't really have anything that I'm particularly interested in. So yeah, think about that kind of stuff. Because that's your future.
There are first year programs and there are upper year programs. First year program only applies to you if you're applying to a university for the very first time. Upper year is for when you're trying to switch programs, or you're trying to do another major, or you're doing exchange programs. After applying there, you're going to put that student number, and then right below that, you're going to put your statement of intent. This is 300 words, and as you can see, the question is basically all about why you want to get into this university, what does art mean to you, and what will you do with art in the future to come. The second half is portfolio. This is where you're gonna apply all your artwork. You're gonna describe them as best as you can, the description, the medium, and the dimension is all over here. As you can see on the screen, this is some example of the art that I use in my own portfolio. Note that the deadline is unique to whatever program you're applying to. Every first year program had nearly the same deadline, and every upper year program has a different deadline than the first year.
When applying to Schulich, there are two things that you want to think about: your marks and a supplementary application. For your marks, you want to aim for around high 80s to low 90s, and you're going to need to take English, which is mandatory, advanced functions, and then either data management or calculus and vectors, or you can take both if you want. For your supplementary application, there's going to be two components: a written leadership profile and a video interview. For your leadership profile, you're going to be describing, I think, around 5 different leadership experiences you've had, and you also need to include references as well. And then for your video interview, there's going to be a mix between written and video questions, where you're going to be given like a few minutes to think about the question and then a couple minutes to answer.
Okay, so in terms of the application process, applying to get into the pre-IB program was infinitely harder than trying to get into the social science faculty. And so the cutoffs for both of those, social science is a cutoff of about an 83%, whereas pre-IB status needs minimum a 90, and so to be competitive you need a 92. I had a 96 at the end, but I was still freaking out because it's really excruciating. The application process requires 3 essays and a detailed fill out of all of your extracurricular activities, but so long as you get those done in a timely manner, you should be okay. Like it wasn't super lengthy, it was just the essays kind of take some time, but you'll be fine.
So to get into systems design engineering, there are 3 main components: the interview, the AIF, and your marks. With your marks, you would ideally try to get a 95 plus. However, having below and above that is also fine for systems design engineering. In terms of the AIF, this is where you talk about all of your experiences in high school which prepared you for university and specifically systems design engineering. So it's several different paragraphs, and you should try to tailor them to showing how you are a good fit for the university and the program. Next is the interview, and this part is basically like the AIF, but it is an oral component where you record a short video based on a question prompt that they give you, which talks about your experiences, your interests, and why you want to come to the university as well. So these 3 components are the application process for Waterloo.
The application process for eyesight includes a supplementary application that you'd have to fill out. It can be found online on the eyesight website, and it's also important to maintain the competitive average of around minimum of a high 80.
A Waterloo application is kind of neutral for everything. There is not really too many specifics for a specific program. So you'll see that when you go on the Waterloo website, you have to do your AIF, you have to submit your grades and everything like that. But you also have to fill out, and you have to do an interview for AFM, which is, I believe, 3 questions. And you do those 3 questions, you submit your oral interview, and there's nobody there, just saying, like, it's all recorded. So you just record your interview. And another thing is you do a trait assessment. This trait assessment isn't too big of a deal because, like, people will be like, oh my god, like, they won't like me because I have some quality. No, they want a wide variety of people. Like, they want someone who's a really shy person, but also someone who's very extroverted. So don't be afraid of what you say in the trait assessment because it's not that big of a deal, right? Obviously, it gives you points. Like, let's say you fit their criterion, and we don't know what the criterion is, to be honest. So you will probably do well. Just answer it honestly, whatever you see fit, right? Also, another tip I'd give you for that: look into the kinds of like things Waterloo wants in its students. Like, you'll be like, oh, they should be innovative. They should be able to kind of think on their feet, or they should be very like creative or something like that. There are terms all over Waterloo's website, also AFM's website, so check those out.
What is the application process like at UofT? So on the bright side, U of T doesn't have any vigorous application processes like supplementary applications or interviews, but rather you have to maintain a certain grade as well as meet the requirements listed on their school website. Now, you could find this information at University Fair books that they distribute or on the university website. So basically what it is that depending on the program, there's certain cutoff averages that you should maintain, and then there's competitive averages. For me, life sciences, I believe the cutoff average was 80s, so 80s to be considered. And then there's a competitive average, so that's around 85 to 90. So make sure to maintain these averages as well as complete all the requirements, take all the courses that you do need to take, and you should be set.
What's the application process like at Western? It's pretty similar to just about all your other universities. It's just, you send in your marks through OUAC and then they, put you on a list, and see if you make a cutoff or not. If you make it, then, you get in. But there's nothing that, you have to stress about personally. It's just like what the universities do, so.
So first and foremost, what should you do? You may be wondering like what I did, so I'm going to tell you all the things that I did and that I learned from previous students who applied to the university as well. So remember that, your artwork should be something that is meaningful to you. So I would have more than 10 selections out in front of you and choose the one that you feel the most connection with. So this university is only asking for 10 artwork. You do not need to go above that number because they do not have time to go over all the artwork there. There are like about 700 kids applying every single year, maybe more than that, and they need to go to everyone as quickly as possible.
So for your written leadership profile, what's important to keep in mind is not how big of a club you were part of, but more so like the impact that you actually had and how your actions and how your tasks led to results. And also another thing to keep in mind is to have a variety of different experiences. I think for me, I included to work, to volunteer, and a club. And this way shows that you're a well-rounded person. And for your video interview, it's important to treat it like an actual interview. So you want to dress up and honestly just top hat is fine. But what you can also do, because the questions are the most likely going to be situational behavioral based, you can look them up and practice them as well.
Tips for applying. So this tip applies no matter what grade you are in. Do some extracurricular activities. I promise you will need to use them because all 3 essays are based on extracurricular activities. Another tip for applying is do use big words. I know that's kind of against the advice that everyone else gives you, but so long as you understand the big words, use them because it makes you look more professional. Just make sure to get them edited beforehand. And the third one is take your time with it. Try starting as early as you can. Don't start like if it's due January 15th, do not start January 14th at 11 o'clock. Do not do it. I promise it will not end well.
My biggest tip when applying to systems design engineering is when you're writing your AIF, you want to make sure that you're focusing on only 1 or 2 extracurriculars, but those extracurriculars are the ones that you've done the most in. Universities love to see when you've taken only 1 extracurricular, but then done it to the highest level that it could possibly be. So achieving the greatest amount. But they hate to see when you have 10 different extracurriculars that you're in, just because you think the university might like it, but you're not really doing anything in them. So overall, I would say my biggest tip would be to focus on those one extracurriculars and just talk about how it's made you a good fit for Waterloo. So this doesn't actually have to be technology or anything like that. It can be just soft skills. So for example, if you've gained leadership skills or you've gained teamwork skills, how can they help you in Waterloo? And what specifically in Waterloo can they help you in? So for example, with design teams, clubs, excelling in school, excelling in co-op, stuff like that. And my biggest don't would be to just talk about every single extracurricular you've ever done in your entire life in your paragraphs. They don't want to see a list. They want to see a story of how you are trying to achieve something.
When writing the application, it's important to keep in mind the specific aspects of ISI that ISI really promotes. For instance, there's collaboration skills. That's a key aspect of ISI because we do a lot of group work. The application is essentially asking you why you think the ISI program is the right program for you. So it's important to keep these skills in mind when answering the questions. It's also important to be honest, since I feel like the application is so open-ended, you can't really go wrong. So just be passionate and be yourself, and that's just about it.
Do's and don'ts for the application. Okay, that can be a little bit confusing because I think a lot of people get caught up in the fact that your AIF has to be perfect or your grades have to be perfect. And a lot of people think that, like, oh, Waterloo only wants grades, or oh, Waterloo only cares about the AIF. Actually, they care about it pretty equally, in my opinion, right? At least for AFM. They think that your grades, like, as long as you're 85 above, you'll get in, right? Like, kind of go with that notion, but 85 above will get you in. But in order for you to get like those early acceptances, that people want their acceptances in March, people want their acceptances like early, right? They want that security. I'd say the best thing to do is probably just show yourself off in your AIF. Like, there are ways to highlight yourself, especially in COVID. Like, I would assume a lot of the grade 12s that are applying now, they're like, oh my god, we didn't get to do as much. Write that, and that could be under your circumstances. Let's just say another thing was somebody who got sick in your family and that took away, and something happened and your marks went really bad. Write that in circumstances. Don't be afraid to put out the truth, because if you talk to anybody who is in the faculty or admissions officer, they'll tell you the same thing. They want everybody to be as honest as possible, because in the process they want to see you. Then your application should represent, hey, are you, like, whatever qualities you have, like, you might be honest, you must have a lot of integrity, or you whatever, that's who you are, and represent that. Complete
all the requirements, take all the courses that you do need to take, and you should be set.
I'd say, yeah, don't worry about the application process too much. You know, you already got your marks. It's not like you can change anything right now, so don't stress about that. I'd say, yeah, think about which university you want to go to, right? Weigh in factors like the location, the costs, where your friends are going, everything. Like, put that all together, write it down, make like lists, pros and cons, because that does matter. That matters a lot.
So, I really love this school. You know, it's only been a semester, but I've loved it so much because, as I said before, so many times actually, that the school is not about the final result, it's about the process behind each final result. And that's what I really love about this school. So I've had some amazing professors, they're very trustworthy, and you know, you can always go up to them for help. And I'm not saying that to be nice, because I think some of my professors might be watching this right now, but I'm saying this because it's true. And that, you know, it's basically a school that you feel connection with, and a school that once you graduate, you'll feel like you've grown so much with only 4 years of education.
Because of COVID-19, I really haven't got the chance to experience a campus life or whatever yet. But I have been able to meet a lot of people through clubs and case competitions, and it's really nice because everyone's motivated and everyone's on their grind, and it's not like high school where, you know, some people are slacking. So it's a nice environment to be in. And even though I am in business school, you know, I myself have not experienced it, like cutthroat competition or whatever, because at the end of the day, you know, we all want each other to succeed and have our dream career in life.
Okay, so last question, the workload and the environment. Okay, in terms of the workload, let me put you on something. Before you go to any university, this isn't even Western in particular, search up bird courses, like the animal, like bird. bird courses. And so the reason for this is it's just another code name for the easiest courses. For example, Western has a lot of really easy math courses, a lot of really easy computer science courses. One of them is literally just Photoshop. So long as you pick at least one bird course in your workload, you should be okay. It'll balance out the rest of your marks. I can't really speak on behalf of the IB business program because I'm only pre-IB and I'm doing social science as my first 2 years, but the workload hasn't been bad. I think it's maybe just because all of the courses I'm in I really like, and so I'll give you a little rundown of my courses. So obviously I have to take political science, philosophy, and economics. And so I'm also taking this intro to biology, which has been fairly easy and super interesting. And I took anthropology, which has been a total blast. So genuinely take courses that you're interested in, and if you are not interested in anything, go for the bird courses. You should be okay. And in terms of the environment, so long as you find friends that are in kind of like the same workload as you, they have similar work ethics, they have similar courses, you should be okay. I know that the business program can get awfully competitive, but just for social science, everyone's really nice to each other, and so you should be okay.
As I did my first term in Waterloo this year, I didn't really get to have the full on-campus experience. However, despite that, I would say the community and life inside systems design engineering is extraordinarily good. Despite everything being online, the professors are really, really nice, and they are very, very caring, more than treating you just like a number. They don't really do that at all. On top of that, you're able to communicate with your classmates through messenger group chats as well as Discord calls, and I've actually been able to make a lot of friends. The community is very, very nice. We're constantly having game nights, we're constantly having all these different events where we're actually interacting with each other, and I've gotten to know a lot of really, really cool people through this. So if you're looking for a great community, I would say that Waterloo, well, not Waterloo, but systems design engineering is definitely the place for that.
I absolutely love the environment here at eyesight. We definitely do a lot of group work, and because of our small class size, we're all pretty much friends, so it makes the program so much fun. I also feel like we have a more personal connection with our professors since we're such a small class. This might be a little bit more trickier to form in like a program with around 600 students, but apart from that, I honestly love it. It's so much fun.
So AFM's environment, people, and like the campus and everything, obviously I haven't been to campus, right, because I'm obviously here, but I did get to talk to a lot of people. So I think overall it's a pretty welcoming environment. Like, people want to get to know each other, people want to have fun, people want to do things together. And one thing about AFM is that for some reason, I think a few years ago, people had a notion called they're snakes. That's not true. And I have been there. Like, a lot of people have talked about this. We've talked to upper years about this, because there's such a notion that, oh, AFM students are not the nicest, but in reality, they're pretty nice. It's just, there was a specific year where a lot of stuff went, like, inside AFM happened where they got that name. But in reality, the environment is so welcoming. It's really good. You get people from all different backgrounds. So you might not even be a business kid and you're going into a business, and you'll get to learn a lot of things from a lot of different people, especially your upper years. They're very helpful because they have programs running where, like, they'll give you mentors every single time, and they'll be like, every semester you'll get a mentor, and they will go through with things with you, and they'll be upper years, they'll be 30 or 4th years graduating. You can ask them anything.
So as I've mentioned before, I do attend the Mississauga campus, and what I really like about this campus is that it's surrounded by nature, so it really gives you that calm and stress-free vibe. On top of that, the buildings are relatively new and modern, so its classrooms are integrated with technologies. It has that really abstract type of building architecture, which I really do love. And another thing about this campus is that it is the smallest of all 3 campuses, and as such, in terms of travel time from one building to another, it's very quick, and you don't have to really worry about getting to class late. Now, another pro or advantage about the Mississauga campus is that it is a 10-minute drive from the downtown Mississauga and Square One. So you do really get a balance of both nature and city style, I would say. So it's perfectly situated, but it totally depends on who you are and what kind of environment you like. What is the workload like at U of T? Now, it really varies from university to university and the type of person you are. So this question is in fact very subjective. First semester, I took a full course load, so 5 subjects. 4 of them were regular courses and 1 was a bird course. Now, a bird course is basically an easy course where you don't have to put much effort but still get a high grade. So make sure you always try to get 1 or 2 of those courses in your term. Now, in terms of workload, as I was mentioning, it's definitely manageable. You just have to manage your time, read before class, make sure you read the syllabus. The syllabus is your ultimate guide to everything. So make sure you read the syllabus and plan ahead of time. And this will definitely benefit you in the future, and you will be rewarded for the effort you put in.
Okay, I can't say too much about the environment at Western or the campus because I haven't actually gone there. I'm just, I'm at home too. I work over there. Yeah, so far the experience has been less than good. That doesn't make any sense. The experience has not been too good because it's kind of frustrating learning everything online. But, hopefully it does get better. And I'm sure the campus life will be, much more like an actual university once it opens up.
Okay, y'all, if you've made it this far into the video, I really hope it helped you in any way. I mean, I wish I had this type of video for me when I was applying, especially because COVID time now. I really hope it helps you get an idea of what university life is like. I mean, it's not that great, but it's something. And yeah, also big shout out to all my friends who agreed to send in videos of themselves giving advice during this hectic week of university. So yeah, big shout out to you guys. I love you guys. And I'm gonna be posting, I'm gonna be putting their IGs down below here so you guys can just reach out to them if you have any more questions. They'll be really happy to answer any of them. And yeah, stay safe, guys, and make sure you don't stress too much while applying. And you can reach out to me too. I'm always available. There's already been so many of you guys reaching out to me, and I love the support. And please make sure you keep subscribing to this channel. I will keep making YouTube videos that are helpful. And yeah, just comment down ideas too of video topics you want me to do, because I will literally do it. Okay, bye now.
Dream of you every night. Dream of you every Can I help it if I dream of you every night? Dream of you every Can I help it if I dream of you? If I dream of you, dream of you.